Hi everybody, this is Ospreyeye from MyChartCoach.com, and we're going to take a look at some stocks that were in play today. Okay, first up, let's take a look at RPRX. Okay, it closed up 9% today. RSI is at 64, so it still has some room to run until the 70 overbought level. We've got Fasto above 80, bull cross starting here on 80x. So the bullish move on this chart today is the close above the 50-day simple moving average, currently at 56. So we had been looking for a close above that level for the last 4 days, and it finally happened today. So yeah, this was the bullish development we were looking for. So now what we want to see is that 56, currently at 56, we want to see that level turn into support and the candles to stay above the 50-day simple moving average. And the key level to break is going to be the bottom of the gap. Notice there was a gap that formed back here in May, and this is the top of the gap. This is the bottom of the gap. So it hit that level intraday, broke above it briefly, and then pulled back. So you want to see it close above the bottom of the gap. That would signal gap fill. That would put the 80 level on deck. That's the top of the gap, and the 100-day simple moving average at 85. So this is the next target zone if it can close above the bottom of the gap. So nice uptrend going. It is on a multi-day run right now. So you've got the 5 green volume bars in a row. You know, we'll see if if it takes a pause or not now that it's broke above the 50-day simple moving average, or if it can keep this current streak going. The candles are riding EMA 4 at 55, so the chart is super strong. As long as they're riding EMA 4, you know that's an extremely bullish chart. If you get a close below EMA 4 or the 50-day simple moving average, you could see a pullback to the bottom of this channel here, which is lined up with the middle Bollinger Band. As long as the middle Bollinger Band holds, the uptrend is intact. Okay, let's take a look at CYTR. This made a big midday move today. It had some wild action. It dropped down to low of day and then quickly spiked to high of day and kept running pretty much into the close. You know, gave back some of the gains, but you know, closed close to high of day. The bullish move here on RSI is the break back above 50, so it's back in the bull zone. And then the same thing with Fasto. Fasto is back above 50 as well, at 54 for RSI and 63 for Fasto. There's still plenty of room, plenty of juice in the tank to head higher before overbought levels are hit. Okay, you can see here plus DI, the green line is above the black and the red line, so this is clearly showing that the bulls are taking control. The bullish development on the chart today is the close back above this green line, which is the 50-day simple moving average. Notice that the share price had dropped below that and the middle Bollinger Band, which is the purple line, dotted purple line at 63, and so they had turned into resistance, and then now today finally there was a close above both levels and the EMAs 4, 8, and 13. And so what we want to see now is we want to see the middle Bollinger Band turn into support. So that is at 63. We want to see that hold, and then the key level to break is going to be the bottom of this gap. Notice there's a gap here back from the first week of June, and so at 72, that's the top of the gap. You want to see a break above that level. That would signal a potential gap fill. You know, a run up to 78 fills the gap, and then the next target, if it can fill this gap, would be the 300-day simple moving average at 83. If the share price pulls back below the middle Bollinger Band, that would be a red flag signaling more consolidation. You know, it could continue this sideways channel. So you know, it's really going to have to break the top of the channel, which is lining up with the bottom of this gap, in order to head higher. But this is a good start. You know, it was bullish intraday. What we're going to see here, if it can follow through with a multi-day run. We had been looking for a volume spike, and that happened today. So that was the bullish volume spike we were looking for. Now we just need follow through. There was a bullish crossover on the 8, 13, and 5 MACD. So now the MACD line is above the signal line. So this is signaling that the chart could be starting a new uptrend. And then what we want to see is this 12, 26, and 9 MACD line cross over the signal line. That would signal, you know, that would be a very bullish signal and should signal more upside potential. Okay, so let's look at DAC. Okay, this is a marine transportation stock. I know everybody was talking about TOPS today, TOPS. We will look at that chart next. but this is a marine transportation stock that is actually heading higher. And so if you look here, RSI is at 64. So you know, it hasn't broke above 70 in a long time. So we'll see if it stalls out at 70. If you notice here, fast O's at 100. That happens many times when a stock closes at high of day. If you look back here, the close was 185, and then you look at the high. The high is 185 as well. This is called white closing Maru Bozu candle. Okay, so basically that means bald candle, no wick. There's no upper wick on the candle. High of day was the last trade of the day. Okay, so basically what's going on this chart is it needs to break above this 185 resistance level. Okay, notice how this was big resistance. If it can bust above this with the close above, you know, you can see $2 back on deck, and then ultimately the 200-day simple moving average at 222 is the ultimate target. If it can bust through this 185 and $2, could be looking at a run back up to the 200-day simple moving average. The reason why this is looking like a nice setup, not only has it been on this nice uptrend, notice it's been riding above the middle Bollinger Band, the dotted purple line, since there was a close back here in the first week of June. That was your signal right here on June the 7th that a new uptrend was starting. And then notice that there has not been a close below the middle Bollinger Band since that day. If you're a swing trader, you load on this day. This is for a longer term swing trade. You load on the break above the middle Bollinger Band. If it holds, you keep riding. You know, if back here when you get the break above the middle Bollinger Band and then it failed to hold, you know, you exit. You know, you don't want to be riding these penny stocks if they're forming candles below the middle Bollinger Band if you are long. But once there's a break above the middle Bollinger Band, that's a signal that there's a change in trend starting. And so you want to see that support level hold. If it holds, the next level you want to see break is the 50-day simple moving average. That happened on this candle right here. And then the next big level to break is the 100-day simple moving average. Notice how many times the candles hit that level, how they consolidated for a couple of weeks below the 100, and then finally, boom, you got to break above that level today. So on a pullback, you want to see the 100-day simple moving average at 170 hold. You want to see that level turn into support, and then a launch off of that up to the 200-day simple moving average. Notice there was a giant volume spike today. So this is a thinly traded stock, but there was big volume today. And then notice the MACD bull crosses on both time frames. And there was also a parabolic SAR bullish flip. So there's a lot of technicals were going off today, signaling more upside potential. If the 100-day simple moving average holds, the uptrend should continue. All right, let's look at TOPS here. Okay, this is like, this is worst of breed. All right, okay, DRYS is the worst of the worst, and then TOPS is like right there, the evil stepsister. You know, they're closely related here in the chart structure, the way the charts look with the very, you know, just never-ending downtrend. And so today's another day where it was a head fake. Notice RSI has been below 30 for an extremely long time, and you've got FASTO below 20 for an extremely long time. You know, this is very oversold levels because you know, the stock has just been riding EMA4 resistance for an extremely long time. There was a close above that level back here on June the 6th. The EMA4 is currently at 0.27, and that has been, you know, as you can see, the candles have not broken above that level in months, and so basically it's been riding that level for the longest time, and we've been looking for a close above to signal a potential run up to the EMA8. And today you can see on today's candle down here that the share price had broken above EMA4 temporarily. You can see the high of day, and then it pulled back and it closed near low of day, and actually closed below yesterday's close, you know, signaling that the downtrend is still heavily intact. You know, it's still closing below EMA4 resistance. And so for this to be even thought of as a potential swing trade, it has to close above EMA4 on the daily chart. It's got to get a close above that level. You know, one strategy is just to sit back and wait the entire day until before the closing bell. If you're looking to swing trade this, no one, you know, this is just not even, you know, this is a very, very risky stock. Almost everybody gets burned. Every once in a while, it does break out and run, and so that's why we watch it, because every once in a while it'll have a huge run. We're just stalking this this prey, see if something happens, but by no means is anybody recommending trading this. It's just a deathly stock. If you're short, then you're just loving it, right? But for people going long, wait until that break above EMA 4, and then you might, if you're lucky, get a run up to EMA 8, and then sometimes these things go crazy. But you know, this looks like they're still just dumping shares. Look, there was a giant volume spike today. So it's all up to the company on whether or not this runs. You know, if they keep selling shares, the share price will keep dropping. If they chill out for a minute and let the share price breathe, then it actually could bounce, and you know, and things could happen. So yeah, we're just keeping an eye on it. We'll keep you posted. Let's take a look at CNBX. Okay, this is in the marijuana sector. This is an over-the-counter stock. It made a nice move today. These annotations are from earlier in the day. It did close above 50. We want to see RSI stay above 50. Okay, that would signal the chart is bullish. You know, if it stays below 50, that would be a red flag. Fasto is back in the 50 to 80 bull zone. It was temporarily above 80 and it pulled back. There was a bullish crossover on 80X today. The green line crossed the red and black lines to the upside, and so the bullish move today was there was bullish reversal confirmation, bullish doji star reversal pattern formed. Today's white candle is confirming that pattern, did confirm the pattern, and then there was a close back above the 300-day simple moving average, which is at 90, and then the middle Bollinger Band at 94, and so there was also this mini descending resistance pattern that happened before the drop, and so there was a close above this red line as well, and then it closed right below the dollar level. Okay, the dollar level is a big level in penny land, and so what you want to see a close above that level tomorrow, and that level turn into support, and then a break above the 50-day simple moving average at 108. That's the next big resistance level. If it can turn the 50-day simple moving average into support, you could see a run up here to the 200-day simple moving average at 132. So there is some upside potential. It just has to stay above the middle Bollinger Band and hold the 300-day simple moving average. If it drops back below both those levels, that would be a major red flag signaling downside risk, and you could possibly see the 70s being retested. If it can get back above $1, you could see a potential run back up to $1.30, possibly higher. You can see the 100-day simple moving average is currently the top moving average on this chart, and that's at 196. So keep an eye on CNBX. PURA is a ticker symbol that we talked about in our video last night. This is another over-the-counter medical marijuana play, and yeah, I guess they're in the extraction business, and they're doing some expansion possibly in Texas for their new medical marijuana thing coming up in September, and so yeah, we got RSI in the 50 to 70 bull zone at 62. You got Fasto at 89. You got Plus DI really broke out. Okay, these annotations were from yesterday's video, and so there was nice follow through today. You had the close yesterday above the 50-day simple moving average, and we were looking for another close above that level to signal a bullish change in trend. You know, there was a close above the 50-day simple moving average back here the last week of June, but that level failed to hold and it pulled back. And so today's white candle back above the 50, that's signaling that level is trying to turn into support. So as long as candles stay above 0.0248 and the 50-day simple moving average, there will be more upside potential. Notice it's hitting the big resistance zone. You've got the 300, the 200, and the 100-day simple moving averages all converged at the same level. Okay, so yeah, if you look over here, they're between 31 and 33. And so if there's a break above the 100-day simple moving average at 0.0327, you could see this potentially run much higher. So keep an eye on it. You know, this traded at much higher levels earlier in the year, and it's got some good volume going behind the move, and it's got some news and some you know, promo type stuff happening possibly. So yeah, keep an eye on it. Yeah, they've been putting out press releases and stuff, so it's in play right now. Okay, take a look at SWHI. This is another OTC ticker that we alerted today. It did close up 200%. What we're looking for is a close above 0.003. Okay, so that's the big level. If you look at this candle here, it's just above that. We want to see a close above above this candle here, and then that could signal this is potentially going to break out higher. Pennyland is pretty far from this level right now. There was big volume spike today, huge volume, and then if you notice a couple weeks ago there was a big volume spike, and notice there wasn't much share price movement, and then it traded sideways. To us, this big volume spike before the move today, this looks like what we call the load, people loading before a run. We'll see if that's the case or not, or if it's just possibly dilution on whether or not resistance breaks. If there's a break above 0.003 tomorrow, that could be a signal that there's more to this. If that turns into resistance, you could see it pull back and test support. So keep an eye on it. It had a really strong move today. Okay, another one to keep an eye on is RCHA. Okay, it was in play today. As you can see here, it's been on this multi-day run. Okay, that's always something that you want to be cautious of. You've got multiple green volume bars in a row with the big volume spike today up to 300, and then the long upper wick on today's candle off of 0.006 resistance. That's the big level we want to see break. Notice that was the high close back here. It hit that level and pulled back. So this could be a climax spike here, or it's back down here at 0.004. It's back in this channel, or there was this after hours news. Okay, so you could check this out. They came out with some news with the deal with this mega bridge company, and so we'll see if there's really something to it on whether or not it breaks above 0.006. If it does, this thing could get running. It has a history of making some crazy runs. Who knows? This could have already been the crazy run. It's up 100% right now, and it's already been on a multi-day run, or it could potentially break out. You can see it hit $2. It hit 2 cents back here. So just keep an eye on it. There is a catalyst for a potential move higher tomorrow. We'll see if it's going to be the rocket fuel, or if it's going to be sell the news. Okay, so yeah, thank you very much for viewing this video. Please check us out at mychartcoach.com and our YouTube channel at mychartcoach.com for more charts and technical analysis. Thank you.